What is up, everybody? What is up on this wonderful Saturday afternoon? We switched up the times for a little bit. When life gets in the way, Sam decided to show up early today.
He was there. Now he's gone. Now
Sam
he's
is there. Now he's back. He's like, tricked ya. Now I'm here. Hey, man, it's Saturday afternoon. We switched up a time a little bit. Life sometimes gets in the way, and you just have to adjust. And I think we did that well today. Thank you guys for accommodating my lifestyle currently. Newborn, new schedule. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Bearded Browns crew. You guys are amazing.
It's not bad, man. Sometimes we get Saturday. I'm a sleep in guy, so when we do a Saturday show, I actually got to set an alarm. So this was nice not to have to worry about getting up at a certain time to get prepped and ready and read things, and worked out good.
Yeah. Sleeping guy at all. I woke up at 8. I guess it's sleeping in for me, but I did wake up and got yard work done.
Nice.
That was nice. And then I realized we have a show today, so I got to do my beard, right? Look what I'm charging right now. My beard straightener. It does not look like a beard straightener, but it is. It's actually charging right now because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, every other time you use it, charge it. Every other time. 2 times, charge it. Yeah, I did the same thing a few times. Look at us all now. We got beard straighteners and oils, mate. We cute. We cute.
Yeah, I use a plug-in one, so it never dies. It's always consistent.
Must be nice.
It's always consistent, baby. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of the NFL new rules that just came out from Summer Olympics to the Offensive Lineman Award, the new kickoff rule. They changed yet again, and tush push. Did it get banned? Did it not? What does that even mean in general for everybody? Also, the Browns have a new partner. Mayor Bibb is quitting on his new stadium talk, and we feel like we have a reason why he's doing that. Also, I heard a rumor, and we're going to talk about OTAs. We're going to talk about all that and more here on this live stream. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuning in from, much appreciated, and hopefully you enjoy the show. Nonetheless, let's get into it, guys. The first thing around the league, first thing we're talking about is the NFL owners voted to permit NFL players to participate in the 2028 Olympic flag football. What do you guys think about that?
I'm all for it as long as nobody gets hurt. Boom, simple.
Took the words out of my mouth, man. That'd be a shame for, say we got a David Njoku going over there and representing his country, or we got Miles representing the United States, and them guys just, make that one wrong move. I mean, it's flag football, but that doesn't mean you can't blow out an MCL or rupture an Achilles or anything like that. So it's the damage that I worry about, I mean, I'm all for it, but in the back of my mind, I'm worried about guys getting hurt and then it trailing into a season, of the NFL. So,
yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like I'll be, if my team and one of my star players want to play, I would be on pins and needles, wondering if they're going to do a cut and something's going to rupture or tear. I mean, we saw it here with Deshaun when he did a simple try to quarterback sneak, and you saw his Achilles
fracture. 5
fracture.
minutes and his name's already been.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, that's how quick it can happen. A simple cut, and all of a sudden, dude's on the ground in pain. So, hopefully, it'll be interesting to see how teams orchestrate that, because I know some NFL players have been crying, not crying, but pining for this. So hopefully they do that.
My thing too is real quick. If say somebody does get hurt, how is that on their contract? I'm going to pay you because you went and did an Olympic event. That doesn't have nothing with me with our NFL events. So, I mean, I wonder how that might pan out if there's something in contracts. I would assume so. You got a guy who gets hurt and then he can't play that season, or he's out half the season or the beginning of the season because he played for the Olympics. And, that's on now, you're hurting the team. So
I thought that was your cue to throw the Beard Gains logo since you just started brushing your beard.
Beard Gains. Everything you need at Beard Gains.
Beard Gains.
But yeah, it's like a Pro Bowl, though. Honestly, guys, think about it. The Pro Bowl is turning into a flag football thing. Obviously, it's still you got your best players now going out there and playing a flag football game that your chance of injury goes up. Even though it's flag football, I've seen plenty of injuries in flag football.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Let's move on.
Yeah, the NFL has debuted a new award for the top offensive lineman called Protector of the Year. This is actually really, I like this idea because I feel like offensive linemen do not get enough credit for that, for their for their hard work. The only time they get credit is when they allow a sack or somebody blows right past them. That's the only time the name is presented.
And I'm already nominating Joel Batonio. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get Joel. You got another award we could hand out to Joel. Let's give it to him. Yeah. And he'll earn it. I mean, he's the guy, man. So I'm pulling for Joe to get that. That'd be the first time we have it, and then the first time for somebody to get it. I think that would be awesome for if Batonio can grasp that, and I think he can. So.
Yeah, I would. I thought to myself, like, I wonder how many Joe Thomas would have won if this was during his tender here in Cleveland, because he seemed to always be the top left guard every year, especially in Pro Bowl voting itself.
He's a Hall of Famer, though.
I mean, I mean, is Joe Batonio? You guys put him in the Hall of Fame yet?
Maybe right there. Like he's right there, man. It's
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's maybe.
Yeah, all right, we'll leave it at maybe. On to the next thing. The Bills are to be featured on Hard Knocks during training camp, and the series is going to focus on the NFC East during the 2025 season. Are you guys excited to see the Buffalo Bills on Hard Knocks? Do you guys even watch? Who watches Hard Knocks?
So I have a couple family members. My cousin being one of them. He's in the Army. Thank you, Cody, for serving our country, buddy. He's a Bills fan. His wife's a Bills fan, and I'm not going to say I hate the team. They're an amazing team. They put a great team together. Just one of those teams that unfortunately can't get past like the divisional round, it seems. But can they do it this year? The possibilities are endless. They got a great team. So, I mean, I'm not going to bash the guys. I'm probably not going to watch it. I probably will because it's football, but whatever. See what I could do.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should because I didn't last year. I didn't watch, and the Browns were a highlight on that. I didn't watch one episode of that. I watched some previous stuff before, like it was wide receiver. It might even been a different show, but it was just all about wide receivers, and I watched some of that. But I don't know. I'm not. It's Buffalo. I don't care. It's just me.
Yeah, speaking of insurance, guys need any insurance at all? Call Doug White, Allstate Insurance Agency. He'll take care of you, especially if you are a roofer with Crohn's like Sam. You definitely need insurance.
Or life insurance or health insurance, some type of insurance. If you're a roofer, you're going to need some type of insurance. I think Shane said a good point here.
Going to need plumbing insurance if you have a flare-up.
I think Shane has a good point. He says, besides one's own fan base. I agree with that. I think fans whose fan base is on Hard Knocks, those Bills fans are excited. I think also too they get a huge feature this year because I think they're one of the I think they are the favorites to win the AFC this year is the Buffalo Bills. There's a lot of run on Josh Allen currently in the Buffalo Bills and the moves they made in the offseason. But we'll see. And I've never been a Hard Knocks fan. It's even when the Browns are on there, other than the what's that coach's name? What's that coach that lasted 2 years? He went like 0-16, won the third. I can't think of his name. He just slipped my mind. But yeah. Crap. Anyways, move on. Right. But when he was, they did behind the scenes with him and Todd Haley, and they seemed to have a lot of beef going on. It was fun to watch.
Kitchens?
No, it wasn't Kitchens. It was before
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. My goodness gracious! Why can't I remember his name?
My next was going to be Romeo. There you go. Mike got it. Hugh Jackson.
Yeah. Thanks, Shane. Hugh Jackson and that whole he and how he treated Baker was like, yeah, you made the team, but you're gonna be a backup. And Baker's looking on like, dude, I'm the first pick in the NFL draft. I'm not gonna be a backup long. But yeah, that's why I'm excited for type of stuff like that. You can see behind the scenes and see it on Facebook of all the drama that happens. On to the next, Charles Woodson becomes a limited partner with the Browns. He bought 0.1% of shares on the team, and it's a big deal Right. I don't understand the 0.1%, like how much. I guess it's just because Charles Woodson is from here, but we'll see how that impacts what the Browns do as far as spending. I don't know if they can spend it on the current. I read that they can't use that for the stadium bill, but they can definitely use it to help the team in some aspects. Charles Woodson's from here, I guess, right?
Fremont. I believe it was Fremont.
Oh,
Fremont,
I didn't
Ohio.
even know that. I guess that's why a lot of people
Hour
made
and
a
a
big
half
deal about
away.
it.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a
cool.
native, man.
Who's playing opposite Batonio? Javian Cohen was good at Miami, but left tackle looks a little sketchy. And Ian, I couldn't agree more. We talked about left tackle quite a bit on this show, and that's I think was one of the biggest needs for this team in the draft, and we didn't pick up a left tackle per se. But I'm going to make a business decision myself and say that. I mean, we did pick up a tackle in
Kevin
the free
Jenkins.
agency.
Yeah, we did, and I think they're pretty high on them actually. Jenkins.
Yeah.
He's a vet. He came from Washington. I'm pretty sure. I actually think the Browns are comfortable with that left tackle currently situation going on. I think they like the guy that they picked up there in his presence and his amount of reps over there on left tackle. I don't know why I don't feel as afraid of our offensive line as I did last year. Maybe because Jed Will's a big question mark, and then Jones coming off well, he was injured last year too. I'm not as worried because maybe it's because I know they're going back to the scheme in which they're okay with, and I don't think it was much. I don't think it was much of an injury. Well, it definitely was an injury. I don't think it was much of the player itself as more as the scheme last year.
Well, I agree with you there. They're going to go back to what was some of their bread and butter and what was working before. But also, too, you touched on a thing was injuries because last year some of these guys were coming in here already injured, and so I think we're starting. If everything goes okay, because we still have training camp, we know there can be some things that happen in training camp. Unfortunately, guys do get hurt during training camp, but let's hope that doesn't happen and we can get these guys. So week one, we're out there with that full structure offensive line, and they can go ahead and start doing what they do. Another big thing I'm going to say it is I don't think these guys were 100% behind Deshaun last year. And I think that they had some sour milk already going on in their bellies with it. And now this year they don't have to worry about it. And now we're coming in with new talents, new quarterback, where we used to have a quarterback issue. We're having actually quarterback competitions. So, and they want to see the best product put forth for them to protect. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think maybe they didn't, but I know for sure they did not like the scheme because they made it known last year. Batonio and another man, I can't remember the lineman's name, but they both were very clear on their disappointment in how the scheme was made for them, and they want to go back into the what they're going to do this year. Harry says Cleveland needs to let fans buy in like Green Bay does. Yeah, I mean that would help with, I guess, spending, but I don't know. Will we have say who the quarterback is?
No. Listen, can you imagine? I think as a season ticket holder, you buying in as a fan is that right there. Can you imagine what the ticket prices are in Green Bay for season tickets?
Oh, yeah, they're huge. Yeah, you can't get. It's years upon years that you can even get tickets. I mean, people die and then pass them on to their kids type of stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how the offensive line adjusts. I think it's going to be a better year this year for them. I think the scheme is going to help. Also, I think the talent, they have better offensive weapons. Just the backfield alone, the two running backs they drafted is going to help out a lot. And hopefully Tillman could get healthy because I think him turning it up last year and getting hurt kind of killed everything.
Yeah. And the tight end. I mean, we got Fannin coming in too, man. I think he's going to be one of the. He's going to be one of the guys that's going to be your plug and play guy that's going to be able to go out there and produce right away, along with Quinshawn Junkins. So
yeah, you're going to get back to that, like you said, 2 tight end set. You're going to have run first offense. Hopefully run offense. You run offense first, and then you scheme up plays downfield. We'll see though. Hopefully, every time you get excited and you get disappointed after week 1, you're like, this is not what I envisioned. Like, what's going on here?
Imagine being at week 1's game and just sitting there looking at the disappointment, like, why did I even come here?
I'm going in. I'm going in, bro. I think we're going to win our home opener, and I'm with it. Let's go.
The team you're playing definitely favors that. On to the stadium talk. Mayor Bibb says he has more pressing matters to worry about other than the Browns. Maybe crime in Cleveland has a lot to do that.
We talk about the street takeovers. You might want to worry about the upcoming summer thrills of the street takeovers. All right.
Yeah, that. And I mean, and Cleveland just needs if he's going to let go, he needs to start focusing on what he's going to put in that area, in that stadium, to create people to want to come downtown again.
Really quick. You guys were talking about us winning a home opener. Just so everybody is aware, the last time that happened
a couple years ago,
2004. Last time Cleveland Browns won in their home opener was in 2004. They beat the Ravens 20-3 under Coach Butch Davis. The Browns' most recent home game against the Jets was on September 17th of 1989, and they won.
That's funny, dude. I was at that 2004 home opening game.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
I thought they beat Cincy that one year in the rain. Was that a road game?
That had to been. 2004 was the last time we won. That was the year I graduated high school. Wow, that was decades ago.
I was all wrecked and half smashed coming home from Cleveland.
Crazy.
We won an home opener, yeah. Let's go.
Oh yeah, 2024. Bengals 24, Browns 6. Okay.
2004, 20 years previous.
I could have swore the Browns beat them at one point earlier than that, but I must be thinking maybe back in the day. Yeah, they have to break that this year, man. They have to. Wow, that's something that we're definitely gonna have to talk about later. But Mayor Bibb waves a white flag. He's saying, "I'm done fighting for the stadium." We'll see. News just dropped today, actually, that a judge approves that the Browns federal lawsuit updating the Browns are asking from damages, seeking damages from the city for this whole thing that they prolonged. According to the article, it reads, a federal judge has approved an update to the Browns lawsuit against the city of Cleveland, allowing the team's owner, Jimmy and Dean Haslam, to officially seek damages. These damages relate to the city's effort to invoke the Art Modell law, along with legal fees that the Browns occurred in fighting back. The amendment lawsuit also names Cleveland Law Director Mark Griffin as a defendant in his official role. As a result of the changes, previous motions to dismiss both city and state, the state of Ohio, have been nullified and now must refile. So they have to refile to continue to fight for the Browns to stay downtown. But obviously, this isn't going to happen. What's going to happen is the fact that now this is going to clear a path to Brook Park. And I'm sure the legal fees is the fact that Haslam probably wasted time to see what's going to happen, because now they have to hurry up and break ground. If this is going to happen, they're going to have to do it quickly. And the fact that he wasted time and money fighting this is pretty upsetting for him.
It sounds like they don't want no smoke. They don't want that smoke. That's why they're already saying, hey, you know what? We're good. We don't, they don't want no smoke. They already know that they ain't got no legs to stand on down there. Partially that's on them guys waiting so long to say, hey, let's fix this issue. We want to keep you down here, but you waited too long. And so now you get what you get, man. They don't want that smoke down there.
Ian, I see your comment. I'm going to bring your comment up in a little bit, man. We're going to touch base with that shortly. Go ahead.
They're waving a white flag down there. They don't want that smoke.
Yeah, they don't. And Haslam made it known. He's like, hey, we're going to do this with or without the city's help. And he seemed to press forward. They did their homework. They did the data. They did the whole thing. And it was like, it's going to happen regardless of what the mayor, he made a headache for him, but he did it. He did it.
You know what? Yeah, they did it. Cleveland did it in poor taste. The last second, after they realized the Haslams were real about everything.
Please don't go. Please don't go.
Everybody knows the saying FAFO, right? And that's exactly what Cleveland did. They didn't think the Haslams were serious about it. And then the Haslams made that big jump, and now look where they're at. last second stuff, and I'm gonna phrase that differently, but
yeah,
good. I hope the Haslam's get their money back, and I hope that we could put that into the new
they could
stadium.
go ahead and they can still redevelop that area down there. There's prime locations to do other things and bring revenue to Cleveland without having the team actually down there and 15 minutes away. So,
Did you just
said,
have a
if you want
stroke,
to
or
build
is
a
the
public
internet
racetrack
weird?
that takes care of your street takeovers. Who, me?
Who, me? What?
Sam
Say
just
what?
had a
good on
stroke
my end.
live on the show.
I'm good on my end.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. It seems like they're going to go forward with this. I can't wait till they break ground and start building that beautiful facility. It's not just going to be a building. It's going to be a wonderful area of shopping and entertainment. And the Browns fans that were crying that they're never going to go to the stadium again will change their mind, and we'll see them fill the seats at the new Huntington Bank Field down in Brook Park.
And that's going to be great for people like Sam and myself, and even maybe you, because
I'm 10 minutes away from Brook Park.
Well, no, I mean, not only that, for our jobs, they're going to need a roofer with Crohn's. They're going to need a tow truck driver delivering equipment, and they're going to need delivering batteries.
Yeah, I'm going to have to deliver batteries to help run parts that they're going to build. Right, like forklifts are going to need to move parts and stuff. So,
right,
and
see, all three of us are a vivid part of this.
It sounds like back in 2020 we were essential.
Yeah, now
we're essential. Again. Hey, we're essential again. All right,
we're essential.
Speaking of essential, do you guys want to hear? June 5th, we're going to have a huge announcement coming. Everybody here knows. Everybody on the show right now knows. But June 5th, there is going to be a spectacular announcement, and we are so very proud of all the. I could ask to be in have a better group of guys to do this show with. First and foremost, love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being a part of this. But on June 5th, you guys are going to realize why I just said that.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. Harry says it's going to hurt downtown big time, worse than when LeBron left to Miami. I'm afraid.
No, it's not.
The question. Here's my comeback for that. How does downtown do when the Browns don't make the playoffs? Because this happens a lot since '99. So you're telling me the 8 games is so crucial for downtown bars that they're going to fold because there's not 8 games being played downtown. That's the when I'm too much of a logical thinker, and sometimes it gets in my way of an emotional fan. I get that, but my logic is thinking it's just 8 games.
I can cover ground for all of us. Listen, Harry, want to hear realism? I'm sorry. The Cleveland Browns are going to move their talents to Brook Park.
Yes. Hey, also, too, Brook Park is 10, 15 minutes away. It's not like they're moving it to like Solon or even Medina. I mean, it's literally 10, 15 minutes.
Richfield.
Yeah. Nobody complained about that.
Remember when the Cavs played in Richfield? That was kind of a bit of a trip if you were up here. And
Also, too, you had the Cavs winning, the Guardians winning. I think it's going to make up all for that. Also, too, they're going to put something there. I'm sure. Absolutely. Maybe we talked about it earlier. They're looking to put a soccer team in Cleveland. Maybe soccer is going to be there. Who knows? Either way, it's a horrible spot for a stadium. So they need to move something out, anyways.
Yeah.
Horrible spot. And those fans that disagree with that never went to a game. I've been there twice, and I hated every moment of it.
I didn't. I was inebriated, so I loved it. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's move on to the.
I always have a good time, so I'm cool with it. Let's
go. So I heard this rumor, or I read this rumor. Sorry, not heard it. And I want to know what you guys' take on this. The rumor I heard was that the Browns were very interested in Jackson Dart to the point that they wanted to move up into the first round to get him. But the issue is they did not want to trade the assets to get him. The Browns consider moving back into the first round, looking at both quarterbacks, meaning Ward and Jackson Dart, or an offensive tackle. The quarterback they were looking at was Jackson Dart. The Browns determined the move was too cost prohibitive, which means the Giants was able to move up and get him. What would you have thought? What would you have given up for Jackson Dart as if you're the GM of the Browns? What would you're like? This is max. I'm not doing it. What would you give up? I'll let you know what the Giants had to give up for him.
Wait, so he was picked in the second round, correct?
No, wasn't he first?
Oh,
Yeah, they moved up to the first, yeah.
it was
To
all
get
right.
him.
So, for the first round,
Yeah.
man. Sam, go ahead.
I think he.
Well, I wanted Jackson Dart.
Yeah, he was 25th overall.
Yeah, I wanted Jackson Dart. He was one of my mock. He was the only mock I did. He was the guy I wanted.
I had him on
But
my mock as well.
I wouldn't have changed and bet the whole farm to get him. I wouldn't have done a bunch of things to get him like that. That wouldn't have been what I wanted to do. I was being old school with this draft. I wanted them just to go A, B, C, D, E, F, and be done with it. And I wasn't interested in ups or down trade ups. I just wanted straight picks. You haven't had none in a while. And go out there and do it and get what you get. And I'm happy with the draft that we got. So I wouldn't have, even though I wanted Jackson Dart, I wouldn't bet the farm on everything. And I'm not doing that. There's my answer.
I agree. We'll get to Trail Hill's comment here in a second. I agree. I am happy with the draft that we got. Not only do we have to deal with it, but I'm not going to say we're just going to deal with it. We got 2 quality quarterbacks, one in the 3rd and one in the 5th.
Yep.
So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. Cleveland, you got Joe Flacco, you got Kenny Pickett. Oh, Dr. Chad is here.
He is in the house.
Chad is in the
this
house
is
on a Saturday.
How did you get in? Wait, what? This is a surprise. Hold on.
Special Saturday guests.
How in the world how did this happen?
Boom.
So here's the thing. This new platform is a million times better. I can crash this party anytime. Get ready for some surprise visit. No, so 2 things.
Yeah.
One, it's called Brown's Morning Brew, and I'm the only place that's still morning.
That's why I call the Browns morning brunch brew today.
It's brunch. Yeah.
It's still 11. It's still the 11 o'clock hour in the AM out in California. So I just got back from that long business trip for my conference, and I was sitting there going through our Instagram. I mean our Twitter, our X. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're live right now. I thought you were like replaying. And then I was like, no, this is currently live. And I was like, this is like the only time on Saturday that I'm awake during the thing. I'm jumping on for a couple minutes.
No, you're good. You're good. This is great because I couldn't wait till Tuesday because it'd be the first time we're all 4 on. But
all 4,
you came in with this shocking surprise of the year. This is the shocking surprise of the year for sure. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, the question is that you read the rumor that I sent you that the Browns were interested in Jackson Dart. They're interested in moving up to get him, but the picks were cost prohibitive. Would you have been happy? What would you have given up? First of all, the Giants gave up a second round 34 pick, the 99th pick, and a 2026 25th pick overall in exchange for Jackson Dart. Well, would you think that's fair? You think that's a little too much?
Give me that one more time. That's one more pick than I thought they gave up.
Yeah, they gave second round number 34, which is a 3rd round pick, number 99 in the same draft, and a 2026 3rd round pick to Houston in exchange for the 25th overall pick. So they had to give up a pick to Houston. So 3rd round.
Threes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one more third than I thought. I mean, you're really so when you don't make that move, because you're like, we like Jackson Dart, but do we have him as such a sure thing above these other guys that we're giving up Quinshon Judkins and essentially who is after that? Is that Harold Fannin Jr.?
Yeah.
And then a 3rd rounder next year. Are you like, are we so sure of him that we're going to give up like these building pieces, knowing that like we're not sure of any of the quarterbacks in this draft? Are we doing that? I think situationally, it's easy to say the Browns didn't feel the need to do that given the assets they just got for next year's draft, whereas the Giants probably were like, we will maybe not be here next year if we don't make this move, because if the guys they brought in don't blow it away, they still have the we drafted our guy, give us the chance to make him work thing. I don't know, man. I had so many questions on Jackson Dart, and people that loved him like all in and were certain he was going in the first round sometime. I just I guess like I had the same amount of questions I had on him that I had on Shador Sanders, who I think is a less bust potential but less upside guy. And even like everybody knows, I kind of liked Tyler Shook, and I was like, I don't know, like he was an injury. He's an injury and like age flag, but like play wise, he has that kind of upside that I think Jackson Dart has too. And they just got him with just a 2, so with the 40th pick also. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I liked Dart enough to make that big of a
right.
It cost them less than I thought. They didn't make the mistake of giving up a next year's first. That's where I thought they were going.
Chad, right before you came on, I was in the middle of talking about that because I wanted Jackson Dart. He was my guy. He was my mock guy.
And that's going to be your difference.
I told these guys, even with that, I wouldn't have bet the farm to get him moving up. I wouldn't have done that because we haven't had a draft in so long in the first round. I wouldn't have messed around with that. And then, like you said, we wouldn't have obtained, the guys we already have. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys. I mean, you're really looking at the fact of like exactly like Sanders and Gabriel. You're looking at like how much assets do we put towards these guys we don't have like a firm belief in when we picked up enough assets to do that next year if somebody is available. They were more in a position of like, let's use later flyers on quarterback because if they don't work out, not a huge miss. But if we give a bunch of assets for a guy this year and they don't work out, we've kind of like stubbed our toe towards last year's or next year's draft and what to do there.
Yeah, James is right. If we would have made that pick, Junkins, Fannin, or Gabriel probably wouldn't even been on a team. And I would have, knowing what I know now, I would have probably been like, man, we could have had Sampson and Junkins because they probably would have drafted Sampson if they couldn't get Junkins because he was the second running back on their board. But no, I'd like the draft that they have. I think we have a potential of having probably the best draft Andrew Berry's had in ever here. So not getting Jackson Dart, I'm not going to cry about it because if you fail at these 2 quarterbacks here, you can always get one next year, hopefully. That's the rumor Manning's coming out.
That's
so
the only. I think that was the whole plan the whole time. I've said that so many times. Like their plan was not to take the quarterback this year because they didn't have one guy locked down. And they probably did look into it. They're like, hey guys, we have pick 33. Like we'll give you that and like a later pick to move up just a few spots. And when they're like, no, it's going to cost you a third and another third in the future, they're probably like,
too much.
That's not what we were thinking. And same with the I was shocked by that, by the way, because I didn't see the connection with Dart with this group like I saw with some other options. I did see the same rumor you sent about the tackle, and that made perfect sense to me for the same reason. I was like, if they saw like, what is it, Connerly and who is it from Ohio State that I loved and can't
Simmons.
Yeah. If they saw those 2 sitting there and were like, same thing, like we'll give you a pick, 5 picks later or whatever, and then like something down the draft, like a 5th or 6th, will you slide back a few spots for just that one extra pick? I totally could see them doing that. But if for somebody like Josh, who they're like, oh, that's a future starting left tackle, that made more sense to me. But same thing, if they're like, we want 2 seconds, you're like, no, you're not getting 2 starters on this team that's like resetting everything for a guy that's not going to play half of his rookie year because of an injury. Like,
Yeah, speaking of rookies and football, OTA start this week. Quite a couple of questions addressing that. What are you guys looking forward to the most when it comes to
I'm going to go first.
OTAs?
Mine's really simple.
Mike's like, I'm going to go first. This is my turn.
I'm looking forward to all these guys being out there playing football. It's going to be nice to see some real film coming out with all the pros there, the guys, the veterans, everybody. It's going to be nice to watch that. So I'm looking forward to that the most. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. For me, honestly, what I'm looking forward to most is seeing how Tommy Rees is impacted his offensive scheme. And want to see how Kevin has listened to that young mind and how he's going to adjust certain plays, what wrinkles are going to add. And now you're not going to see everything, obviously, but to see what that does as far as his young mind and how things look different. Because according to Kevin in a recent interview, he's using a collaborative effort on everybody on the offensive side to really change things up this year on offense.
Just so you guys know, I have the best wife ever. She just brought me a beer.
Nice. Can't go wrong with that.
A gold Miller can. Come on.
I saw you were there. She's like, I thought you were thirsty. Oh, I wasn't, but now I am.
I have the best wife ever. It's official. Chad, where's your drink, buddy? It's so weird being here on a Saturday with Chad, so I have to mess with him.
Mine is out on a workout right now, but she just walked in the door.
So did mine, but she brought me this deliciousness. I didn't even ask for it.
She's probably selfishly hydrating herself.
Oh, yeah. Sounds about right.
You can be on the couch. You're gonna be on the couch.
Unbelievable.
You just gotta play catch up faster. That's all.
What about you, Chad? What are you excited about?
Chips. If you eat chips on the show,
delicious
right now.
Delicious
hang on, I'll be back.
Delivered by my lovely wife. Just in time to hit Mike right in the face.
Hang on, I'll be back. I think we'll get some ice. Let me go get some ice.
I was gonna say, if you eat chips on the show, I might fly to California just to punch you in the face.
Funny.
I just
Sam one day was on here just chomping on ice, and he's like, "Bro, I thought I muted it." I'm like, "No, it was crunch."
She just came around the corner and waved these pickle chips that we had at a dinner yesterday, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, we love these."
Nice.
From Trader Joe's, you can get them. You'll definitely be able to get them. And I was like, I love them. And I just thought it was funny. She like just reached her hand in the room to show me that she was for us, right as Mike is
He's like, bring it home,
about how he gets treats. And I was like, bring it.
Man,
I saw you do something.
The way we're set up, Jack could almost get the Miller from Mike, and Mike can go ahead and grab it.
Chad, here you go, buddy.
Dude, that's it. That's awesome. We got to make that happen. We'll make that happen.
You guys want to hear a great sound on a Saturday?
I gotta go.
No, I love. I want to jump in too. Like the mine's pretty similar to Mike's. It's pretty simple. The thing I'm looking forward to is just cutting this rookie chatter and actually seeing these rookies play with real football players. Because despite some of the BS out there about this Browns team being so untalented, like voted, some of you guys saw it posted. We were voted the worst team going into 2025, and I was
insane.
I'm not saying we're great, but the worst team. You don't think last year without a quarterback was a little bit of like a down year from what this team is capable of? Sure. What I'm excited about is seeing that I know there's some talent on this team at almost every single position group. I'm excited to see the rookies get in there and line up with those guys so we can really see what do they look like around real NFL players. Because there's not really any room where you're like, there's no comparison, because you can't say like, oh, the receivers, you don't get a good look, or the running back. Like even those that don't love Jerome Ford, I'd love to go out and see how these two guys perform against Jerome Ford, and that will give us a much better idea of what does this really look like.
Yeah, mine real quick. Mine was I'm looking forward to that run game. I want to see how these running backs look. That's what I want to see. I'm a running back guy. I love the position. That's what I want to see. Other than
it'll give you something about the linemen too, right, Sam? Like how the running backs look. Like we'll give you a little taste of, is this line back to a traditional Cleveland Browns like zone blocking,
nitty gritty known offensive line,
pancake line, or is this like age and things have actually caught up to them, and that's been the problem.
Are we going to go back?
I don't believe it.
Are we going to go back to when we start doing? We'll do some sweep outs and pulling guards and trucking dudes over. That's what I can't wait to see. I want to get back to that.
All right, let's address this. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, Jack. By the way, he's from New England. He said he is a New England fan. He scrolled before. Jack says you guys don't have a quarterback. Hold on a second. I'm going to address this real quick. And
Mr. May.
I actually forgot to Well, actually, I heard May threw a couple picks during his time. But anyways, no, at New England, I like May. I shouldn't hate on May. I think May's going to be a good quarterback. Actually, like
I was going to say, let's not. I was talking up May so much.
Yeah, I like
in
New
the draft
England.
process. So
I was just hating on May real quick, and I realized I actually like May. So let me shut up. We do have a couple of quarterbacks, and let me tell you who quarterback that no one is talking about.
Here we go. Okay? Say this. No, save this for Tuesday.
Hey, I'm going to say for Tuesday. Kenny friggin' Pickett, and I it's going to make sense. And Chad might be on my side. He might be on it. He might hate it. It's getting to the point where, and we do. And Joe Flacco could be a quarterback. And I'm not saying Joe Flacco won't be a quarterback, but we do have a quarterback. We have Joe Flacco and we have Kenny Pickett. Those are our quarterbacks. And now, are they going to be superstars? we don't need a superstar this year right now. Now, if they become one, great. But I think we do have a quarterback, and our quarterback room is a lot better this year than it's been in previous years.
Just the phrasing. We gave up a 5th-round pick for Kenny Pickett, but Kenny Pickett was not a 5th-round pick. Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick. He was picked around the same area of the draft that you were just talking about, that Jackson Dart gets picked. And he went into what we know now is a great team, a great franchise, great coaching, but consistently has done a bad job of supporting and creating an offense for their quarterback.
100%.
Do not count out the fact that he could be better here. And I don't know that Angel will ever get caught saying he's a star. He just was in the wrong place. Just
better is the key word.
Better. Yeah.
Better is the key word. Superstar, I've never come out of my mouth. Now, if he rises to be a superstar, I will be shocked and I will be grateful because our Browns will be winning again. What I'm saying is, if you're coming at me with Kenny Pickett, 8-inch hands as your only argument as to why he's a bad quarterback, I'm going to push back and say that is a horrible take and you've been listening to the radio too much. Turn it off and come back at me with some actual facts.
To be honest, I've never heard of a disappointed lady about 8 inches.
Exactly. Thank you. It's not about the size of the hands, it's how you use it.
You know what they say about guys with big hands, right? They got big gloves.
And they know how to clip their fingers. No, I'm just playing. Anyways, we'll hopefully talk more on that on Tuesday. So Jack, tune in on Tuesday and we may talk about a little bit more about Kenny Pickett. But either way,
to his point, it's fair to say the Browns don't have a quarterback yet because we don't even know who it will be. But
correct.
Act like there's not one guy in this room that could be more successful than what they've shoved out there the last few years. Like that, I'm not. The best person they've shoved out in the last few years is back on the team. So
Joe Flacco. Yeah.
So the worst case scenario is the best quarterback they've had in 3 years is currently playing for them again. So I don't expect them to be worse than last year. Nobody should.
Agree.
People do, but nobody should.
And that's why it's annoying when you see that graphic when it says the Browns are voted the worst team. It's like New Orleans. Hello, they don't really have a quarterback at all. They're rookies or.
I mean, how good do they think Cam Ward is going to be coming out of the gate? That they think the Titans are going to be a good team right now. They have a rookie quarterback with nothing around. They picked first, and it was not a question the entire season for the most part. Where they were picking. I don't know. There's a bunch of teams that have a bunch of problems, and the Browns are 1 year
from a playoff
success. They're 1 year removed from success.
Crazy.
A lot of other teams are several years away from success. So I don't know.
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in distress as well. It's just because
even with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they're going to be what people are going to say they are.
I'll tell you exactly why.
42-year-old Aaron Rodgers not going to camp all season does not blow me away.
I agree.
I was more worried when they still had Pickett. I was like, man, if they bring in Rodgers and he's got two monster targets, and then they just gave one of them away.
They got Mason Rudolph. I mean,
scary.
I'm not going to sit there and say I'm not going to bash Mason Rudolph. The dude has potential to be I'm sorry. I had 3 sips of Miller Lite. I'm sorry. I'm talking out my ass now.
No, it says Drake May. Drake May is basically Mac Jones with a better looking mom.
Drake May is so
not Mac Jones. Come on,
physically talented.
Yeah, come on. There's no way.
I loved him in the draft because he was 20 and a half years old or something when they drafted him, and I love seeing a guy with that upside and skill level with so much time.
All right, onto this topic. Other than quarterbacks, I think you guys some of you said it, but what other positions are you interested in other than quarterback? Because obviously,
I'm going to go right here with Sam. Running backs. There's a potential. I don't want to touch too much on it, but Tuesday's show is going to be the one to talk about it. But there is still potential of Nick Chubb coming back. You got these 2 rookies that show promise, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Running backs. Are we going to be a team that's going to go to the run game again? Or are we going to be a team that's going to be heavily passing that we tried to quote last year and then everything just fell short of passing or running? So I think you could do that. We'll bring up the percentages again of last year's run game versus pass game. We'll bring that up Tuesday. But I'm looking forward to the running backs.
Yep.
You and Sam are both on the same position group.
Yeah, for me, I'm very interested in the quarterback. I'm sorry, other than quarterback, I'm very interested in how this offensive line works because I felt they patchworked it, but I think they patchworked it well enough that they're going to be better with the scheme they're going back to. And I don't think that's being talked about enough. I think more people are worried that they didn't do enough. I think they did enough to be good enough to win more games than 3.
Yeah,
Sam.
He said running backs.
I was on running backs. I was already with you on that.
Staunchly running back. I'm actually going to say
wide receivers.
I say defensive line. No.
Oh,
I think defensive
really?
line, and the reason is
good take.
Hey, if I have to hear one more person trash talk Mason Graham like he was the 80th ranked player in this draft, and we made the biggest reach in football history, like I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how a guy on like every single board that we pulled into the show, and it was dozens, were like, this guy's somewhere in the top 5, 3, 1, well, not 1, probably 3, 4, 5 over and over. I'm not sure I even saw him ranked 6 anywhere. And I keep having these conversations about how like the Browns like passed up elite talent. And I'm like, I may have been the first person to just fall in love with Hunter, but I do not get where everybody else was sleeping on Graham this whole time. And furthermore, the talk about like the Browns as if they have no pass rush outside of Miles when they have 2 incredible young like pass rushers on the other side. I and also Mike Hall there. He missed a lot of last season. I want to see him if as he gets back from this injury. I want to see, did he lose a step? Can he pick up right where he left off? I just think there's so many like question marks, but upside on that defensive line. I'm just so curious to see how they look and how they have, if they can reach their potential to open up the field for the linebackers, secondary players. And I'm pretty intrigued to see how this all shakes out and who takes over that rotation.
I agree. I want to hit Ian's comment really quick. I'm going to touch back with you, Chad, in a second. Ian says, who plays the slot? I love Judkins' ability to catch the ball and make a play. Deontay Johnson is a bit of a crackhead. I told him I was going to get back to that comment earlier.
Crackhead.
And I had to play it. But anyways, Chad, I agree to your defensive line thing as well, because now you have rotational guys. You have enough guys that you're if you are out there playing defense a lot, we have rotational guys that could be fresh guys sent out there. So it's going to be kind of crackheadish. I mean,
it's better than Kadarius Toney.
Here's the thing.
I'll take
Deontay Johnson. Like, where did this come from? I feel like he played for the Steelers for what, like 5 years or something.
Yeah,
and I just didn't hear a word about him. And then he kind of has this breakup with the Steelers. Like, and it's not shocking that he would be unhappy there. He had his best season potentially with Kenny Pickett of all quarterbacks, even though I think he caught the end of Roethlisberger's
Angel,
career.
Calm down.
And
calm down, Angel. Wait till
Tuesday. Say it.
Last year he went to Carolina. He was playing. I have him on my dynasty teams. The only reason I was even paying attention. He was playing great ball in Carolina.
Yeah.
They traded him because they're like, we don't need a receiver playing great ball right now.
Because
honestly.
we want to suck. We want to suck.
Yeah, we are sort of thinking if we can get a future asset for him, younger, we'll take it. Then he traded him to the Ravens. Shockingly, he was miserable there, which I get.
Wonder why.
They didn't even put him in the game, let alone every receiver. But Zay Flowers over the last 5 years hates playing there. They are all begging to get out because they don't get the ball, and it's impossible to play receiver for that quarterback, who's an incredible quarterback. But like, all I saw was like him play good football until literally the second half of last year, and now the reputation is like, God, he stinks. He's washed up, all this stuff, and it's like I don't know where that's coming from. Like historically, I might have missed some stuff, but like I paid pretty close attention to the Steelers. Always a ton of talk about their receivers being kind of loopy in the head. It was Antonio Brown. It was Juju Smith-Schuster. Like I remember all the stories about how they just didn't get it together. I don't ever remember hearing like Deontay Johnson is a giant problem for this team.
It's probably because he's jumped from team to team. He was not happy getting the ball, which is which is what receivers do. That's a typical receiver mentality.
He's not like Stephon Diggs though, who's on like 4 teams in 4 years. It's like he got moved twice in 1 year, but not because he wasn't succeeding. He was succeeding in Carolina. He was playing pretty well there. He just wasn't succeeding in Baltimore, and that's where the problem came in.
Happened, because
28-7 or 28. If you put me on a team where they don't play me, and I was trying to get my career back on track, if you trade me right as I'm succeeding at that to another team, I would probably be pretty pissed. Like I was on a roll, man. I'm trying to get a contract.
Muppet hands. That's what Sam calls them, I think. Isn't it?
That's
what do you call Sam? What do you call Kenny Pickett?
No, Muppet hands is the first.
Hands?
No, I was talking about the old Burger King commercials when they were eating big Whoppers with tiny hands.
How can I eat a Whopper? I've got these tiny hands.
Ian,
yeah, you're right.
I think the receivers were more or less complaining not about Pickett, but about the play calling, not Pickett, the play calling. And we'll get more on that on Tuesday.
I get it. Like Pickett was not impressive in Pittsburgh, guys. Nobody's like jumping on the table. Like Angel and I aren't jumping on the table saying like he's impressive. He didn't throw touchdowns. That's a problem. But again, like I said, Deontay Johnson had a pretty good year.
In Pittsburgh
year, yeah.
I mean, in Pittsburgh with the same quarterback, you're telling me had Muppet hands. Get it? I understand it.
What's Muppet hands red zone percentage?
What you're telling me is this: hey, he had a good year again with a quarterback that he didn't like, but yet he still had a good year. So your argument is invalid. Every time you sit there and say this about this person, but yet you're telling me we approve statistically that he had a good year. And the reason why he's been moved is because he's been moving with quarterbacks he don't want to play with, which is understandable. He wants the ball. I get it. And also too, the Browns got him on a cheap deal. So you're not going to lose. It ends up being a head case anyways. No,
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, Deontay. So, I mean, they only pay him, like, was it $800,000, if that? So, I mean, I think that's a very good move on him. If he can play to where he was playing even in Carolina, I think he's going to be a surprise.
I was going to say, because we're going to pay for Kenny Pickett. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
It's kind of the same. What's the receiver we just got? We just got rid of. We didn't get rid of. He went to another team. Shorter receiver. Beard.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore. See, now Elijah Moore, it's the same thing with Elijah Moore. I feel Elijah Moore had to go to a better, greener pastures because he never really had a quarterback thrown to him either. So I think it's kind of the same.
Joe Flacco.
Thing.
Yeah, Elijah Moore is not in Cleveland. Like it became very clear at the end of that process. Elijah Moore is not in Cleveland because Cleveland wouldn't have taken him back. He was looking for a new opportunity, and he found a better situation for him.
Better quarterback too,
around the same money.
Right. So it's just that he kind of struggled here. Did he have a Flacco thrown to him? Yes, but there was all kinds of other things going on that year. And Flacco
he played with Flacco before, right? Flacco and he had a connection from the Jets, and that was the one guy he played with well. But like, let's look
that's when he seemed to do good. You know, but other than that, he never really had nobody thrown to him other than Flacco.
The first comment he made, Sam, to your point, when he got to the Bills, in his very first interview, he said something about like, you know, in Cleveland, I played with like 12 quarterbacks, and I don't even think he was exaggerating. I think he played with like 9 different guys at least. Like that's
one season
wants to sign up for that.
Season we had 5 different quarterbacks to one season. Yeah. So I mean, I feel for the guy. You know,
that's another thing. Everybody's like, why do you guys got 4 quarterbacks? I'm like, bro, you guys realize we went through 5 in 1 year, correct?
Yeah.
I mean,
and they didn't plan for it. It just happened. It just fell that way. You're going to be like, I won't take Sanders in the 5th round because we've already got 3. It's like, if you think the kid has a chance to play, you're not going to be like, nope, room's full. Like, of course you take him.
Mr. JoJo, you are not the man.
Geez, JoJo, 4-13. Shout out to the YouTube comments. They're showing up big today. 4-13. Nah, man. I think
if they do, it means their quarterbacks didn't perform, and we'll be picking one.
Yeah, picking one. Yeah,
second pick in the draft next year.
I think they go. I think 6 to 8 wins. I think 4 is too low.
Listen, guys, there's always next year.
Every year, there's always next year. On to the next topic. Kevin, in his recent interview, Kevin said that the rookie reps are not priority. The rookie reps are not priority. He did, Mr. JoJo smoking Deontay Johnson crack. YouTube comments on fire today. Ian, shout you out, dude. You're on fire right now.
Shots fired.
So Kevin was on the radio saying, listen, the reps for the rookies is not going to be priority during mini camp. They do have the opportunity, which, by the way, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Berea, where the Browns practice in, their facility is being updated big time. And they have this huge wall where it's basically a VR reality set, but on a huge wall where they can punch in their position and they can line up in that position and play live reps via screen.
Made very famous by Jaden Daniels last year.
Yes.
Said that was a big part of his training was VR quarterback training.
Yeah, so they're going to offer that to not just the rookie quarterbacks, but those like those on the practice squad that will get a lot of playing reps. So don't be surprised. First of all, my first question is, do you think that's okay for the rookies not to get a lot of reps in minicamp?
There's a quarterback train.
Very early.
Every time.
That's a quarterback train?
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns.
You can hear it. We can never hear it.
Yeah.
Really?
You guys,
I can hear it.
I can never hear the quarterback.
Yeah, I hear it.
Oh,
y'all getting old.
Right
I can hear it. Maybe because I'm closer to you.
Turn me up in the headphones.
Need more snare in my headphones.
These damn producers.
So do you guys think the rookie quarterback should get more reps in minicamp?
I think if you really want to see what they're going to do live, I mean, that's actual, the virtual stuff, I'm not against it. But
my precious.
This comment.
I think you get to really see actual, playability by actually playing ball. So that's just my opinion. I'm old school. Go out there.
I would say first of all, I don't believe any of those kind of comments. I just, I think a lot of times they're just saying what they want to say to avoid like the next possible question or like any headlines, but in the first camp, I don't really care if the rookies get a lot of reps because I don't believe they know the playbook yet or know what the heck they're doing. So if like in the first camp, it's like, hey, you guys are sitting behind Flacco and Pickett and like watch this and you've got like so many weeks to learn the playbook. But as soon as they get into like June camps, I'm going to be expecting them to get a ton of reps because the best case scenario for this team is that Pickett or even better case scenario, one of these rookies shows something so impressive that they take over the job. Whether they succeed in the regular season or not, getting the job early would be the best case scenario. So no, I don't care if they don't get it in like this first camp with the veterans. Let the veterans get out there and show them how it's done. But shortly after that, yeah, I do think they should probably get a lot of reps.
I agree. I completely 100% wholeheartedly agree. Is that peanut butter? I knew it. For all you that don't know, sorry, Chad's dog's name is Peanut Butter.
He made an appearance.
I completely agree. I think you're going to see those guys at OTAs getting reps. Maybe not as much as Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett will, but in the end, nobody knows. We didn't know what they were going to do in the draft. Nobody expected us to pick the guys we picked. Nobody's going to expect the week one starter. You got one of 4,000 odds, I guess. Well, one of 4 of odds to pick who is actually going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And we're going to get more into that Tuesday. But as of right now, shut up, people.
By the way,
even you guys,
bad bet.
all three
By the
of
way,
you guys,
it's a bad bet. Don't bet on any of these quarterbacks. It's a bad bet. Like I can't remember a situation where I was less sure who was going to be the actual starter. And I've said like, I think my number one expectation would be Pickett.
Hey, we're going to talk about that Tuesday.
But then everything has changed. So now you're like, well, going in, it was like, oh, they went and they got Pickett. And then you're like, and then later they bring in Flacco and pay him a little more than Pickett. And then you have 2 rookies who are on 4-year deals. Like each one of them has a reason why they could potentially have the starting job. So like if you're a betting person, like not a great bet. I would not bet on one of these guys yet.
It's too early. Way too early for anything.
I disagree. I disagree 100%.
We're going to talk, Angel.
As far as quarterbacks, I think you do allow you do give them minimum reps because you don't want to start a rookie quarterback week 1. We've done this song and dance before, especially against the schedule up against it. You're against some tough teams, so you let them rep, but you don't give them as much rep as possible. You give you who you're going to plan on starting, whether it's Flacco or Pickett. That's
best veteran at camp wins out. That's how.
That's what I think. In my
That's kind
opinion,
of where I'm thinking they're going, Sam. To be honest,
that's exactly.
I expect a ton of reps for Pickett because the scenario should be Pickett either earns the starting job over Flacco, which is great because he's like 25, or he earns a trade call from another team. Yeah. In which case, yes, we trade a 5th for him. Maybe we pull a 4th back for him or better. And you're like, that's your scenarios. I feel they should be hyping up Pickett. They should be giving Pickett reps. They should be giving Pickett good looks in camp and preseason and building up Pickett to where he can either win that job or win someone else's heart. So,
I think
you already know Flacco, like you don't have to build up Flacco. Everybody in the league knows what Flacco is. He's an older guy who can execute with some limitations at this point, but like he stepped in off the couch and executed. He doesn't need a ton of reps. So I think Pickett gets your reps.
I think in 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to have one of those veterans starting, but after 4 to 6 weeks, if play is poor, you're going to see one of the rookies.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think they're going to go right next to the other vet. I think they're going to be like, all right, well, let's not waste time. Let's see what these guys could do and probably execute. I mean, it's to be unknown as of right now. It's as unfortunate it is. We're not going to know until the season starts.
I mean, according to Ian, it won't matter until it's time to sell season tickets in the new stadium. In the new stadium, Jimmy's going to be selling Shedeur Sanders jerseys like Dante Johnson's crack.
Hey, man. Deontay Johnson crack line.
Yeah. Yes. So on
for
to
the record,
next...
I cannot confirm that Deontay Johnson
I don't think he does.
Crack.
Unless you have an insight that we don't know of, I don't think he does. On to the next thing. Kevin kind of talked about a little bit of what the offense may look like. Again, when I say Kevin talked, he talks, doesn't really give us much, so you got to look into it, okay? What the offense looked like, he said, certainly there are things that we believe in, things that we are going to do in the run game and in the pass game and how we operate. Things we'll hang our hat on, he said. There are some things we want to continue that we've had success with, but if you're not evolving in this league, it will not go right by you. You have to consistently update what you're doing. The fun part for me is having Tommy Reese in for the second year with us, was in college. An offensive line coach, Mike Bloomgren, was in college for a few years. We have a lot of new faces that can bring great perspective as to how we put an offensive system together. So Kevin's going to use bright minds to help facilitate this new offensive scheme. That's why I don't think the offense is going to look the same as when Flacco came in here. I think there's going to be some wrinkles. Even Flacco is going to have to learn, but I think he's a veteran. He's going to learn pretty quick anyways.
Yep.
Thought?
Yep.
I will wait to see what I see on TV, or if we ever get our press passes. Hashtag Cleveland Browns. Give us our press passes. Chad said he'll fly up here for a game, and we want field seats.
I would do that.
Right.
To condense, I think I'm getting your point, Angel. To condense that, I mean, what it sounds like is Kevin Stefanski and most of the team wants to go back to what Kevin Stefanski does, but with the notion in all of their minds that it has to have new wrinkles, or you can't just go back to 2020. It's 2025. But he wants to go back to the base of like what they did the best and what he knows the best. And they specifically hired guys to bring in a younger, newer perspective to what they already did, which is like the opposite of last year, where they hired a bunch of veteran guys to do totally different things.
Yeah.
This year, it's like, let's go back to doing what we are the most successful with the type of hires that can add an edge. And I think that was probably the direction they should have went last year and didn't.
I agree.
Correction. That's a course correction.
I'm going to play something really quick because Ian, I don't know if he's a hater or not, but I mean, Thank you for joining us, Ian, on YouTube.
Yeah.
We take them all. We take the lovers and the haters. We take them all. Come on.
Yeah, he says that we're not going to be able to throw deep, and I want to play something from
Oh my
Cam.
goodness! Oh my goodness! That's horrible.
Hold on. Let's see here. It is.
He's referring to
Here,
Kenny
hold on.
Pickett.
Angel, I think your left eye's starting to twitch.
He's not.
There we go. Look at this. Look at this, guys. I mean, he looks like he's in the red zone of the opposite side of the field. And
He's not referring to them.
That's probably a 50-yard bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong or am I right?
Well, he's not referring to the young guy. He's referring to Kenny Pickett.
So first of all, that I think Kenny Pickett is gun shy, and I've seen that before. And it he threw a couple too many interceptions as a rookie. The next year he threw less and he had a better ratio, but he just dialed back his passing altogether. And I think he got a little gun shy. And I think honestly they didn't have the best coaching to fix that. But
Chad, look at the comment.
My big point would be. My big point would be let's say he's right. Let's say they can't throw that deep. Does that kill your team? The 49ers went to the Super Bowl twice without being an elite deep throwing team. You can do it.
Yeah, he was talking about Kenny
Thank you,
Pickett.
Ian. Most Chads are dicks.
Yeah, you got Karens and then you got Chads.
I agree.
and then you have people that come in here and say Cleveland Browns podcast has to be the most depressing thing ever. Y'all, why y'all do this to yourselves? Well, we're Browns fans. We're Browns fans, So that's why we do it.
Nothing depressing about
Ian. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to tune into Tuesday's show. I think the fact that you don't think Kenny Pickett can throw deep is a misconception, because I would argue the fact that his completing percentage is a lot better deep.
He had a good arm in college. Like I said, I think he got gun shy because his first year he threw more interceptions than touchdowns, and I think he just dialed.
And tune in Tuesday. I'm going to tease you. Tune in Tuesday. I might change your mind. That's all I'm saying. Shut up, Aaron.
I've been traveling, so I've not been doing my normal role.
I guess it is now the Kenny Pickett show. I'll paste some notes that I have, and then Chad, you can organize it, because
no. Listen, Chad,
do we want listeners?
Angel's got an entire show just for Kenny Pickett.
I'm not even lying to you. I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks.
And here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. # Shador Sanders could be mentioned on the show too, listeners.
Yeah. Maybe. Shut up, Aaron. You look like who's Aaron? Shut up, Aaron. You look like a Kenny Pickett. You look like Kenny Pickett. I don't know who Aaron is. Oh, the guy that's talking about Cleveland Browns podcast, the guy up there. Anyways, guys, we got to end the show. We're at an hour, 8 minutes in. Thank you for definitely the entertaining comments on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in and talking Browns with us. We will be live Tuesday, 7:30. Again, all platforms. It obviously we'll be talking quarterback. We're going to throw more quarterbacks in the mix, but if you could tune in, follow us on all socials. Listen, we're 120 something away from 500 on YouTube. Follow us on X, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're everywhere. So tune in Tuesday, 7:30. Any last words, fellas?
Let me get a quick shout out to JB's Tavern, 4305 Brook Park Road, Parma, Ohio. They have the best French bread pizzas in town. Go down there. I've had them. That's why I can talk from experience. They also have July 27th on a Sunday, 3 to 8. Summer party is going down. Parma Town partiers are from 4 to 7. They do 80s music to up to now. Wear your favorite Hawaiian gear, food, drinks, picnic trucks, and all picnic games. That is JB's Tavern, 4305 Brook Park Road, Parma, Ohio.
Mine is thank you, everybody, for voting for the Cleveland's Best Sports Podcast for Scene Magazine. We just want to thank you, everybody that voted. Hopefully we win this thing. We just want to give a big shout out to everybody that voted. We love you guys. Thank you for joining the show, and thank you for voting for that.
Absolutely.
It was cool just to make the top 5. That was pretty exciting to see that that we had a little bit of love out there.
Not bad for a depressing podcast.
Chad, shout out to Chad. Follow him.
Go down there, hit that like button. I didn't catch the guy's name. Go down there, hit that like button, man. Keep following us. We enjoy your comments.
Thank you for the algorithm push too. Chad, do you got anything? Just plug that Ohio Sports Doc too if you want.
Yeah. Give us a follow at Bearded Browns on all platforms. You search it, you'll find us. And then I'm on Ohio Sports Doc on several platforms. I mostly just chime in on more specific topics, but Not my show. It was nice to jump in and get to spend a Saturday
it's
morning
your
with
show.
you guys.
You're always welcome. If we're if we're on the afternoon show, just hop in.
It was cool to be a part of the morning show that I'm usually asleep
Sleeping
2 hours past. So
See, a little later help today. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Lastly, go to beardedbrowns.com. That's our website, beardedbrowns.com. We have articles there. We'll have this video here, and we're going to have more, hopefully, God willing, sooner or later, merch. A lot of t-shirts to be sold, hopefully, because everyone needs another Browns t-shirt in their repertoire, right? Hopefully we'll have some merch there soon for you guys. But
you guys don't have any Cleveland gear, do you?
No, you need more. You need more.
We got you.
Either way, tune in. We're going to have a lot more updates on a lot of our social stuff. But thanks for tuning in. Until next time, like always, go Browns.
Go Browns.
See y'all Tuesday.
Browns.